The first set ended in 31 minutes, 6-1, indoor clay, Stuttgart, Germany. Eala walked to her chair. She took a towel. She sat very still, not defeated, just recalibrating, like she was doing math no one else could see. Eala came into the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix ranked 45th in the world, a number that doesn't fully describe where she is right now. 3 weeks earlier, she had been 29th, a career high. She'd lost that ground at Miami, defending points from a run that had made her famous. Stuttgart was the first chance to rebuild. She was also, technically, a lucky entry. Qin Wenjung pulled out injured. Eala took the spot, a replacement in the draw. No seating, no cushion. Her first opponent, Leylah Fernandez. Fernandez is 23. She has 5 WTA titles. At 19, she walked into the US Open final and nearly won it, but none of that is the real problem for Eala on this day. The real problem is the serve. Fernandez is left-handed, like Eala, which means the angles each expects to avoid. The wide kicker to the ad court, the slice that drifts into the body, are exactly the weapons coming back at her. There is no surprise in the geometry. What there is, instead, is the question of who executes it better. And early in set 1, the answer is painfully clear. Fernandez's first serve percentage is high. Her second ball is even more aggressive than her first, a pattern she has built over years of high-stakes matches. She doesn't wait for mistakes. She creates situations where mistakes become likely. Eala, a player whose best tennis lives at the baseline, needs time to build rallies, to find angles, to move the opponent. On indoor clay, at this speed, in this stadium, Fernandez gives her almost none of it. Points end in 3 shots, sometimes 2. There is a moment midway through the second game of set 1 that tells you almost everything. Eala is serving. First serve, wide, left-handed, the natural shape. It goes long. Second serve. She adjusts the toss, very slightly, a millimeter back, and this time, it clips the net. Double fault. Watch it again. Her head doesn't drop. Her feet reset immediately. She bounces the ball 3 times, exactly 3, and goes again. That is a detail worth holding. Players who are mentally falling apart change their routine. They stall. They walk slower. They add a bounce to the ball or remove one. Eala's routine doesn't change. 3 bounces, toss, swing. The double fault cost her the game, and her face tells you almost nothing. She lost the first set 6-1, but in 63% of second serve points she actually got in play that set. She engaged in the rally. She didn't retreat. She didn't suddenly start chipping and hoping. She kept trying to play her own game, even when her game wasn't landing. The question worth sitting with: is that resilience, or is it stubbornness? And does it matter if the result is the same? Set 2 is different, not dramatically, not a reinvention, but noticeably different. Eala holds her first service game cleanly, then her second. She starts redirecting Fernandez's returns earlier, cutting off the angles before they fully develop. Her forehand, the shot she has built her entire game around, the one that creates insane angles at speed, begins finding corners it couldn't find in set 1. She breaks, she holds, she reaches 3-2. For a few games in the middle of that set, the match looks like a contest, and then Fernandez adjusts. She begins taking the ball earlier on Eala's second serve, not rushing, just moving the contact point forward, reducing the time Eala has to recover, and set up her forehand. It's a small technical shift, half a step in court position, and it changes the geometry of almost every rally. Eala loses 3 straight games. At 3-5, she serves to stay in the match. She holds, then holds again. 4-6. The final game, the one where Fernandez closes it out, goes to deuce, then deuce again. Eala fights off 2 match points. She wins a rally on the third with a down-the-line backhand that draws a net chord from Fernandez, who smiles. A real smile, not a sarcastic one. The kind you give someone who earns a point even when you're winning. Eventually, Fernandez closes it out, 6-1, 6-4, 1 hour, 29 minutes. But that second set, especially those last 2 games, is where the real information lives. 4 games total is a thin result. The scoreboard says that clearly. What the scoreboard doesn't say is that Eala pushed the second set to 4-6 against a player who is ranked 20 spots above her, playing her best surface in the opening round of a WTA 500, and that she never stopped trying to solve the problem in front of her, even when the solution kept slipping just out of reach. Eala is 20 years old. She will turn 21 next month. She has a 15-9 record in 2026. She made a semi-final in Auckland, a quarter-final at the Dubai Tennis Championships where she beat a top 10 player. She cracked the WTA top 30, the first Filipino ever to do so. Then lost ground defending points, then entered Stuttgart on a replacement spot and faced one of the most experienced players on the clay court draw. She lost, clearly, and then she competed. That might sound like a small thing, but the players who learn to compete cleanly through losses, without crumbling, without changing who they are, without abandoning the game that got them here, those are the players who tend to look back at a match like this one and understand what it was actually for. The clay season runs through Rome and Roland Garros. None of it gets easier. The question now isn't whether Eala belongs in these draws. She earned her way in. The question is how she carries this match forward, what she takes from it, and what she leaves behind. She'll play again soon. It's worth watching.